Oh my God, wait.
Wait,
You look different.
you look different.
It's been
the years.
It's
It
been
feels
years.
like it's great to see your face.
It's good to see yours, amongst other things that I've seen recently.
You've seen every part of is that anatomy?
Yeah.
Yeah, my anatomical being.
Sure.
You could say.
Sure, the Katy Perry part of me tour kind of
It's
happened
kind of
this
like
weekend.
you kind of had a biology lesson this weekend.
I'm just gonna say I am so scared for Katy Perry. Like, I know that's an unpopular
Who
opinion.
hasn't been?
People are relishing in her downfall, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm really scared.
Yeah.
I'm really scared.
I'm scared. And I've said it on the podcast before, and I'll say it again. And maybe this could be something that, like, we'll lose subscribers, we'll lose listeners. People probably will look at me differently.
Destroyed.
Brand deals destroyed. Boyfriends out. Maybe my parents wouldn't even look at me the same.
Right.
And
yeah,
you know
I'm
what?
sure.
That sucks.
I'm sure.
But say what you want to say. I was a Katy cat.
Mm-hmm.
There are times
We all were. We all were.
But
and that's
I
what's
will
sad.
say there are times I'm still purring. There's times I'm still letting out a little meow.
Would you say you're roaring? You
I-
won't go so far as to say you're roaring.
I
but
wouldn't
you
say I'm
will.
roaring.
Okay.
I would say it's just like kind of, I'll be just like,
The thing is, you can't deny the hits. Oh,
No.
What was that?
it was just kind of like,
Yeah, I see that.
You know
I
what
don't
I mean?
think you can deny the hits.
No.
I think that the legacy is getting really hard.
mhm.
And I just think her personal life is terrifying
It's
me.
scary.
I will say I just seconds ago watched her smack.
No. What did she smack?
Every time I see a video of her tour, she is doing something else horrible. It's not like she's doing something that you can interpret
Yeah.
as, oh, maybe she thought this was funny. She took the side of her fucking microphone.
Did she suck it?
She walked up to the crowd. Someone was at a box with a Labubu in it. And she took the microphone and she slammed it out of
It's
the
a Labubu.
person's hand. Slammed it to the ground. She said, "No Labubus."
And
And
now
then
what
she
was
starts
that
handing
for?
out Tim Tams.
In was she in Australia?
She had a packet of Tim Tams. And she says, gentle, gentle. She smacks the Labubu.
You know what?
She smacked it with the side of her microphone.
She's handing out Tim Tams like people just got their blood drawn. What do you mean?
But I know. I mean, like, there's so many reasons that she has done so many crazy,
Yeah.
questionable, politically corrupt things.
Mhm.
But I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm really scared.
I'm really scared.
I'm
And it's
really
like
scared.
the space expedition, it was just
She
icing on the
should
cake.
never, and that's the thing. And I think we could say this about a few people. They should never have gone to space.
Yeah. Otherwise, how have you been over the past couple of months?
Things have been good, Andrew. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Things have
Different.
been, I mean, listen, the world gets worse.
Yeah.
The world gets worse.
Mhm.
My tan gets better.
And that hair
The hair is getting
just
longer.
keeps growing.
It's getting longer. And look at your hair.
And I
look at your hair.
decided to shave it. And
Yeah.
all of these girls out there, again, it was a split. I would say it was split. People saying keep the hair, shave the head.
Mhm.
But are we denying?
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I went from baby to daddy in the matter of 30 minutes of that haircut.
Wow.
You don't think I'm giving daddy? You think I'm still giving like
I think you'll always
deeply
give like
repressed
Sunny
and traumatized?
Angel.
Oh, that's
you know what I
sweet.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, you will always have that kind of aura to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But I do think daddy, sure.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
daddy doesn't come naturally to me. I think that like I would definitely have to like act a bit, but I can act.
See, that's something that I am so tired of yes ending in a situation where I just actually realized yesterday I'm not 21. Like, I saw a picture of myself at 21 years old and I was like, oh, that looks like a child.
Yeah.
And now I look like a grown man dressed as SpongeBob. Like, and somehow in no time at all that happened.
And I'm Patrick.
And you're Patrick.
Oh,
Oh, we're back to our roots.
We're back to the roots.
That's
it is
sweet.
true.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet.
And no one's Squidward. Well, I think I'm definitely like, if Squidward and SpongeBob had like a biological child, like that
Yeah.
would be me.
Who would give birth in that setting?
I think it would have to be SpongeBob.
Yeah,
He
out of
gives-
like one of his sponges, out of one of his holes, because he has so many options, so many orifices. Good children.
I am Joe Hegyes.
And I'm Andrew Muscarella.
And this is
Good Children.
So if you're unfamiliar with the lore, Andrew and we met at 4 years old.
At the Hard Rock Hotel in Orlando, Florida.
In that pool. And what's crazy about that is we grew up no more than 5 minutes away from each other. We ended up just spending literally every single day of our lives together.
Every waking moment, I would walk into Joe's house. He'd say, the cameras are rolling. It's time to get to work. We were making videos. We were having shows. We were doing it all. And it just felt right to start this podcast together.
It did. And then, when did we come out? I think that's also important for the story.
Oh.
So this is, and we'll probably have a drop off because you might be surprised. We're LGBT, and that came to it about 21.
Yeah, 21 years old.
21 years old.
Joe found me on Tinder. It was shocking.
It was, I guess in some ways it was shocking. 'Cause
yeah.
in some ways I really did see you being the next Lindsey Graham. Like I was like,
oh, you're so right.
You know what I mean?
I still could.
It's always an option.
It's always an option.
It's always an
option.
Because
I'm like also a very secretive person when it comes to my life. No one really knows what's going on.
Right. You keep it, you're a closed book. You're a closed book. And then that cuts to today. It's been a miraculous couple of years. We have been slowly undoing trauma.
We have been learning to laugh again, I would say.
When
it got dark.
When weren't you laughing?
Oh.
When did you stop laughing?
Oh. I guess I never stopped laughing. I just learned to laugh louder. That's a good way to put it.
That sounds like a Barefoot Contessa quote, like from her book.
It probably is.
Be ready for when the luck happens.
I'm just looking for my Jeffrey to get me in a tent in the backyard so it gets a rockin'. And Joe, very exciting. It's about to be 25 years for us.
Oh my God, yeah, August.
What are we gonna do to celebrate
our 25th anniversary? I'm sorry, that's like old ass shit. That's crazy. I think it's your silver anniversary is 25. Yeah. So what we'll do is get some tinfoil and get to work. I think that's probably where we will net with silver.
Because we're not going to get anything like actually of worth of silver for each other.
The only thing silver we own is a sterling silver fridge. And even that seems questionable.
And maybe a fork. I
don't think that those are magnetic. A fork. I have a question really quickly. Where are the forks? Because we discussed, you revealed that you threw out our Tupperware after one.
You're really going to say that on public profile?
I was just saying to Garrett last night, our other roommate, where are the forks? There's about 6 forks left in our house. So where are those?
Don't even look at me with the fork allegations. I don't know where the forks are. It's just, well, it wouldn't be surprising because you confessed to throwing out the Tupperware. You didn't even fight. You didn't put up a fight. Because this is the problem. This is actually, and I'm sure we're gonna get a fall off here too. People are gonna say something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna admit to things that I've done wrong, and it's throwing out Tupperware. And I genuinely, if that offends anybody, I'm genuinely sorry.
And why do you do it?
Because I'm a lazy person. I'm a lazy avoidant person. So when I make food and I put it in the Tupperware, it goes in the fridge, and I blinked my eyes. It's 3 weeks later. I don't even want to think about opening that Tupperware. So what I do is I avoid the situation completely. I take the Tupperware and I just toss it out. I'm sorry. I'm really deeply sorry. And I'm gonna get more. But the forks
you're claiming aren't you?
The forks are not me. I swear to God.
Okay.
Maybe I have one. No, I don't even have a fork in my room. Not even for the late night.
Exciting updates for the group here. This is our first brand new episode under our brand new production company.
Confetti cannon.
This is the moment we have been waiting for since day one. Truly, literally, I think genuinely manifesting it.
Yeah, Yeah, truly. I mean, any space that we can be in with people that we idolize and people who we've always looked up to, Trixie, Katya, Bob Monet, the queens themselves. It's truly a beautiful experience. It's full circle for us.
It is unreal to think about the fact that we watched these girls and they taught us how to be gay on the internet, and now we are being gay on the internet. You know what I mean? It's so full circle in a scary,
I agree,
horrifying way. In a Katy Perryan way, it's horrifying to me.
In a Katy Perry going to space way, it's sick and twisted.
And it's almost unbelievable.
I'm still waiting for the tap on the shoulder for the cease and desist. I am, but
From
you know
who?
what? They brought it on.
From whom?
Trixie and Katya.
Oh, yeah. I thought from Katy Perry.
No,
I
it's just like so ingrained in my head that like the way that they speak in their banter, I'm just like,
I know.
And maybe this is the year. Maybe let's manifest together. This is the year we speak with Katya. because listen, it's been a long time coming. But all that being said, you were wondering, why did you take a break for so long? It's so we can come back bigger. Well, bigger and better than ever. Let's get into why we're here today.
So today, listen, we knew we needed to come back with a story to tell. I think the things we do best are visit islands. Shelter Island. Long Island. Staten Island. Didn't you go there recently?
I recently went to Staten Island for a bridal shower. Yeah.
And so this past weekend, Andrew and I took our inaugural trip to Fire Island.
Yeah.
This was something that we have contested and debated for years publicly.
If you go back, and for those who have been here since the very beginning, again, if it haunts me. It still haunts me, the fact that we would have a podcast, but we're so far in. It's like you gotta just keep going, because if you don't keep going, it's like it's scary. Yeah. So we're not pulling what was it all for? And what was I made for?
Oh, Billy.
Yeah. Oh, Billy.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Oh, well, stop. Well, I'll say
she's listening to that song a lot lately. I can feel it.
You can feel it in her spirit.
It's gonna be on her Wrapped.
It's
yeah.
That made me feel something for her.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back to not feeling anything. Okay, so when it comes to Fire Island, we've talked a big game. We've talked shit. We were deeply repressed. We have worked through a lot, and I think that for people that are listening, you can relate maybe to the feeling of coming out and then immediately hating everything that is on the other side for you, and seeing other people happy and seeing people have fun and a group of gay friends and being like, why would I literally ever want that?
I mean, isn't it just like how your brain is trained?
Yeah.
Like, literally, you spend your whole life around media and people being gay is wrong. So you're like, oh, that's me, but also you're right. Like, oh my God, you're completely right, actually. So I should hate all of this shit. And then when you come out, it's like, well, now I've done this horrible thing. Now I have confessed to this deep, dark sin. Like the worst thing. I've been fearing this my whole life.
Yeah.
So now I have to do all of the PR damage control to make sure that I'm not like the other gays, that I don't fit the stereotype, that I am somehow better than everybody else, that I'm still loved, that I'm still worthy of love.
Yeah.
So you are like looking for these opportunities at all angles to differentiate yourself and better yourself. And that's on the Velvet Rage, which you lost in Uber last week. Still proud of you for even picking it up in the first place.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, just a really quick brief on that one. I recently bought the Velvet Rage. I read about, I would say 100 pages of it. And
whoa!
I know.
That's why you're so different.
Exactly. Because this Rage, I would almost say blue velvet.
Red velvet?
Don't even go there with me. Yeah, I love a red velvet with a cream cheese frosting. Anyways, with the Velvet Rage, I left it in the back of an Uber. So that Uber driver, he's going to know what it's like to be a gay man in a straight man's world.
He's going to know about the best little boy syndrome. Best little boy in the world. Good children. The good child.
It is the good child complex. And I think also when it comes to Fire Island too, and just being gay in general, it's like you spend years of your life deprogramming. You're just constantly deprogramming what has been programmed from you from society, what has been programmed from you by your parents, what has been expected from you. And I think when it came to Fire Island, and when it came to two of us, and for those of you who might be new, we did grow up a lot larger, and I think that we have also worked through that with the gay community. You almost forgot about that because you're squatting 275 pounds.
No, I think I was just like in a blissful ignorance for one brief moment.
I know, but I had to bring it back up. But I think that was the biggest thing for me when it came to Fire Island, because all I would see, especially when I was going on my feed, were people posting with their friends, and it was like shirtless pic after shirtless pic, a group of gays that all look exactly the same with the most
King's
ripped
Hawaiian
bodies.
rolls.
King's Hawaiian rolls. The chest, perky, I would say milkers. I would say milkers, but nothing was squirting out of that. What?
And this is where I watch you lose control in real time. when it just like the train runs off the track.
Holy shit.
But yeah, I understand what you mean.
mean.
And plus, I mean, Fire Island is actually, in some ways, it's the final boss of the ship for us, because it's like we didn't want to go to the beach.
No.
We didn't want to go to the pool parties.
No.
We couldn't take up. We were getting pushed in the pool.
Yeah.
Asking each other to push one another into a pool at the pool party, because God forbid we had to actually take off our shirts in front of our peers.
Girl, I would have that towel for you, ready for you when you were ready to get out of that pool.
Isn't that still kills me?
just
And then
the
we wear it
saddest.
almost like a, I would say, a high-waisted kilt.
It would be it was such a high-waisted kilt, but it's also funny thinking about you getting out of the pool and me having the towel up like we were about to do a magic trick. Like I was about to make
there
you
was
disappear.
a magic trick, and it really was.
It
But yeah,
really
no,
was.
literally, like, just all of this avoidance around body and around sexuality. And then this place exists that is known for its beaches and its gay scene, and it literally is a gay beach town.
Yeah.
In what world would the younger version of us even think that we have a place there? You know, it seems impossible. So yeah, we got on this podcast and we talked a lot of shit. A lot of shit for a couple of years, maybe.
But you know what?
Of years, maybe.
But years.
It's possible.
Years. And you know what, you guys? I think this is a good learning lesson that people can grow. People can learn.
In many ways.
You can grow in more the ways that you can even imagine. And we don't need to get into every way.
I stumbled across on Reddit.
What?
There is a very large community of people who are very invested in growing the length of their dick with weights and with these rods.
Weights?
Yes, literally they're putting weights. Like, it's
how
like
many pounds?
I couldn't tell you that.
I think I could sustain about 10. I'm sorry.
I just am imagining it. It sounds so scary, but yeah, there's like a full like contraption that you're hooking up to like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then like from there you're adding like weights, or you're just like you twist it.
It's like a bop it.
It's you're certainly bopping it, twisting it,
bopping it. What's the? It's twist it, bop it, pull it.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
Well.
And I've been pulling too much, I'd say. The interesting about the rod part, though, I'm definitely very interested. I would say I'd be interested. I would definitely be willing to grow. I'd be willing to grow a few inches if I needed to. And that was the thing. We've talked about that too. When it comes to losing weight, they always said like every 10 pounds you gain an inch or something.
I think it was something like that.
My dick would be about 25 inches at this point. And that's just not true. That's just not true. So I'd like to talk to the scientist that had any say in that one.
I really sincerely believe that scientist was Alana Glazer on Broad City. Like, I actually think that's the only way I know that quote. So
you're right.
We already we talked to that scientist.
We talked to that
somehow
scientist.
We forgot that question.
Maybe I'll give her a call.
Yeah, you might as well.
And just say, what's going on there?
You might as well.
But listen, Fire Island, back to Fire Island. No, but the growing the dick part, don't do that. Be happy with what you got, okay?
I think it is so hot to be confident with any size dick than to be not confident with any size. Like I would like. It's just like I don't know. It bothers me.
Gun to your head. Sorry, I didn't have to bring a gun to the situation. That's America. Sorry. Without the gun to your head, would you even care?
And yet the gun is.
Would you even care if someone took down their pants and you looked at it and it was 3 inches?
I really don't
give a fuck.
No, I really don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck.
So that's the thing. I think we'll get to the story. I know we're really teeing it up. I think my learning lesson in life so far is I don't really give a fuck. And other people don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
So again, if you own your confidence, that is genuinely all that matters.
Wow, thank you, Brene.
And comparison is the thief of
joy. And isn't that the truth?
Isn't that the truth?
So Andrew, I actually took a trip to Fire Island a couple weeks ago for the first time with our roommate Garrett, and I stayed at a hotel that is called the Belvadier. It is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, gay resort in the world, America, or New York. So,
so there's
any
3
of those
different,
things.
and they each just get
smaller. I had the
smaller.
fact memorized for a second. I have now forgotten. The Belvedere was built, I think, in like the 1920s. It could be the 1950s. Hey, but the furniture is from the 1920s. I know that much. It's like from the Golden Age, the Gatsby era mansions from Long Island. This is a clothing optional, men's only boarding house / guest house. So this place has a lot of charm and character, history, and nudity, right? Andrew and I couldn't look at each other in the eyes for the first 20-ish to 25-ish years of our lives.
And we also couldn't like even touch each other.
No.
Like, physical touch wasn't something that came naturally to us. And
Except
I don't know
that
if
one time we hugged before one of us went on vacation. Do you remember
and
that?
it was so weird.
It was so weird.
It was kind of like, is this the last time I'm gonna see him?
Yeah,
vibes?
I was giving that. I think you were going upstate.
Yeah, I think I was
Yeah.
going upstate, and I was like,
Yeah, it was a real hug.
It was a real hug, and like that just shows you like how deeply sinister and diabolical our lives have been. Is because we couldn't even allow each other to touch.
Right.
So
sick. This place is kind of, I mean, again, we've been establishing challenges here. We have body image issues. We have internalized homophobia issues. And, I mean, intimacy issues. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Grow up.
And if you're listening and you're like, I don't.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Call in. Call in with a tip.
Yeah, I would call him with a tip.
So the Belvedere, in my stay, I had a wonderful time. It was raining. It was unique. Me and Andrew have been naked together before.
Yeah.
So it was me and Garrett yes, me and Garrett met by having sex. So in some ways, I also have been naked with Garrett, I guess. But it felt different. I understood that me and Andrew, we're friends of We Spa. So it's different situation. I knew we had to get there.
Yeah.
I knew we had to get there as soon as possible. And so we did.
And I can't explain to you, first of all, before we even get into the story, I think that back to the deprogramming, my first introduction to Fire Island was through Fire Island, the movie. And I think that allowed me to recognize that there are more types of people out there than just the ones that I see on the Pines.
And isn't that important?
And I think that was important.
Representation.
And that was representation. So that movie actually made me feel something, and I was like, I can get on that ferry and I can get to the island. And once we stepped foot on that ferry in the pouring rain, the torrential, I would say waves comparable to that of a hurricane.
It felt like very much like we were in the Iliad or the Odyssey. It was Homeric. It was a Homeric style situation. The ferry was slapping the water with a force that felt diabolical and terrifying.
The water was, I would say,
we were being hit,
flowing into the boat, smacking us in the face. But you know what? On the other side was going to be a gorgeous island, and it went from Homeric to homoerotic very quickly.
And if you're someone like me, everything Homer ever wrote was extremely homoerotic. Come on, Song of Achilles.
Let's hear.
Come on, Madeline Miller.
Come on, Madeline Miller.
You know?
Yeah. Song of Achilles fucked me up. But anyways,
that was like my real first. Like that was like I think the first gay media I consumed where I was like I should kill myself. Like I was like,
so
oh
serious. Like after you, like when you were reading Song of Achilles, like did you ever have to like put down the book for a sec?
Why would I have to
flip your pages?
I don't think it was like that sexual, was it?
It wasn't sexual. It was more of like it made you feel something. I think it was like romantic in a sense, and I think for somebody who's struggled with like romantic intimacy, that was something that was honestly a bigger turn on, was like seeing these two like really like form a bond and like get after it. And then like obviously as somebody who like is always in their head, like your mind then wanders and you're like then thinking about where my love is at, and then you start going to the next step and you're like, okay, like we're in love with each other and like we're gonna fuck.
So that's like a good way to look at how we're arriving to this island, I would say. And there's a lot going on in our heads, a lot. And we are staying on Cherry Grove. So there's, I mean, the two gay parts of Fire Island are the Fire Island Pines and Cherry Grove.
Yes.
The Pines are predominantly gay men. It's a much more, I would say it's a more affluent area as well. Historically.
The houses itself are just like gorgeous.
And historically, there's also been long-standing tension between the Pines and the Grove. There's famously the invasion of the Pines that happens. There's a lot of subtext and lore surrounding this place. Let me just geographically map this out for you for one quick second.
Please, we would love. Everyone would love.
So Fire Island is on the southernmost coast of Long Island. We grew up 30 minutes away from it in Massapequa. There is Fire Island Pines. Then there is the Meat Rack in between the Pines and the Grove. And the Meat Rack is a small, honestly large.
Joe, I would say large.
It's a sand dune forest in between the Pines and the Grove. It's the only way to get in between both neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The meat rack is a really important part of the story, I would say, in some ways. And cruising.
I know cruising. I know cruising all too well. 10-minute version. Honestly, 3.5 hour version.
Andrew,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the other side of this is obviously Fire Island is a cruisy place. It's a sexual place. It's very sexually charged energy in the area. And the Belvedere Hotel is a sexually charged space.
And I do want to preface for those of you out there that are like, oh, I don't know, like if I can go to Fire Island, like I'm not that sexual. You don't need that. You don't need to choose that journey.
No. Yeah. It's fully opt-in, and that was also something that I used to think my whole life is like, oh, if I'm going to Fire Island, I'm signing up for 6 orgies a day.
Yeah.
And I remember telling my boyfriend Ross that, and he was in disbelief that was my mentality.
No,
he was like, what, did you think that you had no other choice but wake up, orgy, breakfast, orgy, lunch, orgy, pool?
Like I actually thought, looking at every single person that was posting on Fire Island, it was no loads refused.
And in some ways it is. But
in some ways, but you can refuse loads.
And that's life.
Honestly,
it's a really good learning lesson. Loads they're optional.
Refusable.
Yeah, they're refusable. You know what you do?
What do you do?
We accept the loads we think we deserve. And you can refuse a load.
And that's okay. And when you can recognize that in yourself in every aspect of your life, it doesn't have to be sexually.
Exactly.
I would say workload, refuse it. Refuse it. If it doesn't serve you, don't service it.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a good point. So after the horrifying stakes of arriving in a hurricane, sky clears up. We're on Cherry Grove. Andrew, within, I would argue, 6 minutes, you were explaining to me what makes Cherry Grove so special and unique. You almost instantaneously were telling me what you believe. You said there's just this, I can't even put it into words, this feeling about this place. I was like, you just got here.
No, but
of course you can.
No, it was special. It's when you touch down and you're walking on that island, because again, you can't have any cars. It's just a walkable island. So when you're walking on this island, you're seeing pictures of history. You're walking in the footsteps of people before you, people who needed to hide themselves, people who needed to go to an island to be free. I literally was like, it was a full body experience for me that I cannot simply put into words. It was an energy that was undescribable. And people, you pass by a single person, they look you in the face and they say, hey, how's it going? Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fire Island is a gay oasis. When you grow up having learned to hide everything about yourself and deny everything about yourself, to be in a place where you know every single person you walk past, every house you walk past, every employee at every store, they not only are okay with your existence, they encourage it. That alone changes your mindset. It is like a really, really special feeling of like, oh, I can be my fully authentic self in this place.
And I think it's also a good reminder that every single queer person has a story. And,
oh, wow.
And no, but you know what I mean? Like, think
you're very Kenzie Cohen for that.
I'm just
Orange is the New Black. Every sentence is a story.
Wow. No, I don't remember that one, but I will accept Kenzie because I feel that. Welcome to the stage.
You know Kenzie Cohen?
Kenzie Cohen. No.
They wrote it. Yeah.
Okay.
Every sentence is a story. That's the slogan of the show. Sentence, like prison sentence.
Oh,
Every sentence is a story. Chills. Alex Voss.
I know Alex Voss.
Piper Chapman.
That show was getting me feeling maybe, I don't want to get
feeling
into
a bit.
I was feeling,
lesbian.
I was, and sometimes I am feeling a little bit lesbian.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I understand.
And I think the lesbians see that in me as well.
Yes, they see it. It's very loud and clear.
It's very loud and proud.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of loud and proud, every queer person does have a story. So like your story is very important, and it might be the most important thing to your life, and you can be like, they don't know what I went through. Like we grew up big, right? I've always judged, not always, I've learned to deprogram that, but I've judged other people for being like, oh, you must have it so easy because you look like that, or all that different stuff. But like they have a story too that I do not know. Right. So when you are on this island, I feel like it is a reminder that it's like we worked to get to this point, and we're all just happy to be there.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, it is true. I think that as a collective, like, compassion would be amazing.
It would
like,
be.
You know, it would be like an amazing thing. And empathy and compassion for all would be like a real gag. It's something we should try out for the summer.
We decided in that moment when we got there, we are going to drag brunch
because it was rainy. We're in a haunted mansion. I mean, I love the Belvedere. I would buy it if I had $13 million around right now, because I do think it's for sale. Me and Andrew were staying in the King Ludwig suite. The King, right? Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig.
The second, who is the fairy prince. Clock it.
What you look at us and you say,
it.
fairy prince.
Let me just describe this hotel really quickly.
Okay.
So the hotel is literally, there's 33 rooms. Every single room is ornately and uniquely themed with over-the-top gaudy furniture and decorations and wallpaper. Every one of these rooms, some might be big. In my past 2 stays, it's a bed and that's it. Like, you can't even move in the room. Me and Andrew booked this very last minute. We're in the King Ludwig room. They call it the King Ludwig room. It should be called the full Ludwig room.
Because it was a full-size bed, and me and Joe in a full-size bed. And for those of you who can't see us standing, I am 5'8", and I don't want to hear it. Joe is 6'3",
and I do want to hear it.
And Joe wants to hear you scream. But that being said, we were sharing this bed.
And Andrew is a sweater in a way that terrifies me, like in a soaky, wet way.
I'm a sheet soaker.
A sheet soaker. Yeah. So the rooms are insane. There are spiral staircases that lead you to other rooms. One very thinly railed staircase leads you up to a lookout of sorts. And in this lookout, there is about 3 nice chairs, a bookshelf with Scrabble, Sorry, and Monopoly, a little desk, and a 36-inch flat screen TV that is just playing porn 24/7 with the sound on a volume of about 5. So you can hear it as you walk past. If you're up in that room, even if you're working, you're hearing that you're hearing it as you're working. And then from there is a gorgeous patio once you get past that. But that is like a cruising area. It is like designated for that, or if you need to get some emails in.
Yeah.
And both of those, I guess those could both happen at the same time, and I think it did happen.
Yeah. A stroke and a stroke of genius. Come on.
And talk about stroke of genius.
Yep.
It's almost like having a stroke.
Yeah, exactly.
So the hotel is geared towards gay sex. It's geared towards just men being naked. And it is, I can't explain to you how old it feels.
Yeah, it's very old.
It feels ancient.
Haunted mansion.
It is a haunted mansion in a way that is amazing when it's sunny out. But the moment a place, like, because it's like seaside. It gives you like seaside history. I feel like I'm an author from the 1970s.
Yes.
The moment it gets dark and dreary, you feel like you are in the yellow wallpaper. You feel like you are going crazy because there is nothing you can really do. You're in a room that's 2x4 and everything else is outdoors.
And very similar energy to a cruise ship.
Yes, if for some reason extremely like a cruise ship.
Exactly like a cruise ship, because everyone knows when you step foot on a cruise ship, your horniness level goes through the roof. It's just something about the ship.
Well, it's that, because it's that, there's both an abundance and a scarcity.
Exactly.
It's like I could fuck anyone I want right now, but also the options are limited to the 33 rooms in this hotel right now.
Exactly.
So it just creates this real possession of the mind. Like, historically, like, demonic possessions were people on cruise ships and like people in hotels like this. Like, I think you just lose your mind. So we couldn't do that right away. So we went to brunch instead.
And talk about demonic possessions. We get to this brunch, the 2-hour brunch. First of all, we want to shout out Tammy Spanks. Phenomenal drag queen, listener of the pod, great singer,
phenomenal singer. Listen, I'll tell you one thing, and no disrespect. Anytime I am at a drag show and a microphone is in hand,
you get nervous.
And there's a backing track playing,
I get nervous.
And it's no longer an announcement, it's a performance. I am terrified for my life.
And you know why? I think it's sometimes it's a little off. Let's get him an earpiece.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even shade to the performance.
No.
It's, why are we doing a Celine Dion medley in the back room of the Rosemont. Like, it's sometimes the acoustics aren't built for what we're trying to do.
And that's not on them, because I know those riffs when they're practicing, they're tight.
And just maybe, sure. It's possible. It's just no one's getting any favors by performing live at Come On Everybody. No one is, like, no one.
Nope.
So it is just scary.
Yes.
But Tammy killed it.
Tammy ate down. And speaking about eating down, the food at Cherries on the Bay, I would say nearly inedible, and that's okay.
I think we made a bad choice with the chicken and waffles.
You know what?
Because I had an amazing appetizers.
I needed the chicken and waffles because I knew what we were getting ourselves into. And when we walked into this brunch, I said to Joe, we're getting blackout today. All right, I don't normally drink like this, but we're getting blackout today.
And we aren't really drinkers like that. We used to be. We used to be in our prime, but we really have scaled back. So Andrew saying that, I'm also like, sure, why not? But you were really on one.
And we were seated at the bar, and Todd was looking at us, who was our bartender, lovely bartender. If you're at Cherries on the Bay, Todd was great, and he was eating us up. So the first thing that we did was we got a rocket fuel, and a rocket fuel is like a stronger pina colada with maybe a little cherry
and
with a floater.
Yeah, and it's like a Fire Island specific drink.
About that cherry. That cherry tasted like halibut. That cherry tasted like it was from the bay.
Cherry on the Bay was from the Bay.
That was insane. I've never tasted anything like tuna fish. It was disgusting. Anyways, let's just I'm gonna speed up the brunch for a second. We had 5 drinks.
No.
Joe, right? Let's go through it. Rocket fuel. Then I said to you, we're from Long Island. Let's get a Long Island iced tea. I didn't even know what that was.
That was sick. The Long Island iced tea, I've never had one intentionally. I'm sorry if you are someone who orders a Long Island iced tea, you are running from something.
And I think that we need to get you to call somebody.
I just think it's like do a vodka soda first. Try other options.
And
before you take it to the most extreme drink a Long Island iced tea, it's like choosing meth over a hit from a weed pen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just 5 alcohols. 5 alcohols.
And can you even believe no tea in sight?
Coke. Coca-Cola.
Bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't think this was an educational podcast.
Yeah, and it is.
No Coke in sight.
So,
no tea in sight.
Rocket fuel and no tea in sight. We didn't even go to tea. Rocket fuel, Long Island iced tea.
Cherry bomb.
A cherry bomb, which is just yet another milkshake of a drink. What else?
I think we got something. We had to get something else. What was the 4th drink?
Oh, was it a rum and Coke?
Yeah, it was a rum and Coke.
A rum and Coke happened.
I think it was just 4.
I think it was 4 drinks.
Yeah,
I think the rum and Coke was the finale,
and that did happen in the span of like an hour and a half. And they were strong pours. By the end of it, I wanted to get on that stage.
I know, and thank God you didn't.
Thank God I didn't. But one day, maybe.
One day you're going to perform at Cherries on the Bay.
Yeah, one day.
So we leave brunch feeling pretty crazy, I would say. Feeling pretty good.
Feeling amazing.
I almost don't remember what happened next.
We needed to go to the store and we needed to get a 1-liter bottle of tequila because when you think to yourself, oh, I'm 4 drinks in, what else do I need? You say, I need a 1-liter bottle of Casamigos.
Fuck did that happen? Like, I'm sorry. Something's
bad judgment.
Something's up. That's really scary.
Bad judgment.
That's really scary. Yeah. We got a bottle of tequila. We got a couple seltzers, pineapple juice,
because we knew what was coming later. Needed the pineapple for the sweetness.
We went back to the hotel. It was now hot and sunny out.
Yeah,
and we got hot and sunny on the back patio.
Yeah, and I took these little panties off quicker than you could even say panties off. You know what I mean? My big tush was out. Joe's large. Joe's just whatever. I don't even have to say it. But we were both naked on the patio or naked on the back porch by the water, just tanning.
And I want to just say it. I know we accepted it on this trip. We said we aren't nudists.
We're nudists.
Like, we've made that conclusion. It's like we can't beat around the literal bush any longer.
No.
It's just the truth. There is no better feeling on the planet than laying naked in the sun. It is what we were born to be doing.
It's freeing. It's so unbelievably freeing, especially when you can go into a body of water when you're naked. Like, that is what we were intended to do.
That's what we were born to do.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like, I don't know where you're shopping, your ASOS haul, whatever people are doing these days, that wasn't God's intention. I'm sorry, I'm bringing up God now.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying we were all born naked.
And the rest
is drag.
And it's drag to get into drag.
Yeah.
It's a shame sometimes.
Sometimes.
Andrew and I we're enjoying our tequila. We are sitting in the sun. We are melting in the sun. Sweaty, naked, balls out. And at some point, maybe second or third drink in there, the conversation turns to something I would say people only get access to on Oprah or in a really talented couples therapy situation or divorce court.
Yeah.
It felt like all three at once.
Exactly.
In some ways.
And it could have honestly even been Jerry Springer.
Yes. And it could have ended like any of those.
Yeah.
It really could have. We were, it really got so real, so fast. And it was so beautifully symbolic.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we are bearing it all. We were bearing it all.
We were bearing it all. Every feeling that we have felt about each other for, I would say
25 years.
25 years. When you're 4 drinks in, plus I would say at this point, we probably had about half a liter of tequila.
And I would also say, when was the last time you had water? I would say, honestly, for me, it was probably last May. Like, I don't, like, it's been a really long time that I've had a successful glass of water.
Girl, this face is sometimes I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I said, holy shit, I'm sagging. I'm sagging, and not just, well, we don't have to talk about other places I sag.
I can't wait.
No, don't even. When we recap that,
BBL soon. I feel it.
I'm getting full body. I'm sorry. A full body BBL. Yeah, you're so right. Perky tits.
A Brazilian body lift.
Yeah. But when you're that deep, there's a few ways that things can go. One, you're either throwing up over the side into water because you're like, my body can't consume this.
But if you're like us, we're survivors.
We're survivors.
We're fighters.
We're like tanks, I would say. So we got emotional. And what?
As someone who doesn't get emotional, you weeping, saying things I couldn't even believe. I couldn't even believe.
I was crying in a way that I haven't cried like that in a really long time. When you're that far gone, you're like, let's just bring up everything. What was so beautiful, and I think it was in the energy that we were feeling from the island, we were saying things that could have felt like it would have been a fight. Yeah. In the most calm, controlled way.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the whole thing about having conversations, is they don't have to be fights. Like, I think that's something that you and I believe. There's like, anytime you have a conversation, it has to be a fight. So rather than fight, just don't speak. It's like, it's so nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to fight.
No.
So it is so easy, especially when you're bordering blackout and you're in the privacy of a back deck.
Yeah, when you're in privacy of the back deck and you're sobbing and you're weeping and Joe's there and we're saying like, I love you, like, I'm so proud of you. It's like crazy shit.
And again, like our dicks are out in the sun. And then I just look up behind Andrew and there is a group of 10 men standing 2 feet away from us for this entire conversation.
I think what happened, we recognized those men after I think I was screaming. And so soon, Joe, we're going to be performing at Radio City. We're going to be at Radio City.
You actually were like, and I want to perform at Radio City, as if I was saying we couldn't.
So that's another manifestation. But yeah, and it was like silent from those 10 men.
They had an amazing exclusive Patreon that they got.
Yeah, they were like, whoa, these guys are going through something.
And so that was our cue to pack it up, and we went up to the King Ludwig.
And we had a little private deck over there. So what did we do? We just kept drinking because we still had half a bottle left.
And we had to finish that. When did you pour the whole when did you start pouring pineapple juice into the tequila bottle?
When there was just about 1 to 2 shots left, I made a mixie in the bottle itself. But what's so embarrassing is when you're so far gone sometimes, we decided to get on our Patreon and we went live.
Andrew, I'm humiliated about that. I woke up every morning since only thinking about it.
I'm humiliated.
Like, I'm gonna actually go sober. Like, I never want to do that again.
1,000%. I don't think I necessarily said anything. Like, I don't think we did anything that was like too much. Like,
I don't care.
I definitely think that I was like almost about to slip the towel down a little bit, but then we were like, oop. Oop, not yet. The patrons definitely got a show.
They got a show.
And that's actually a great plug for the Patreon. You never know what's going to happen on that
really
Patreon.
Don't. You never know
$7 a month. That's it. And we might be going live after a full bottle of tequila. People were in the chat being like, don't. Please stop. Please stop, you guys, please. They're like, I know they're going to talk about this one. And then what happened from there, we had to get ready for dinner.
And dinner was something. We went to the sandcastle.
And I do want to preface by saying we deeply regret, and we are so sorry to the staff of the sandcastle. We are sorry to those people that were next to us at the sandcastle. You had to see and you had to feel things that we were feeling, and that was not right. I'm sorry that you had to experience that. I'm sorry that we were one bottle of tequila down and 4 drinks. And I'm so sorry. But when that French onion tartine came out and the buttered rolls came out and we decided to go live once again on Patreon in public,
no.
That wasn't necessary.
Every promise.
So again, we're deeply sorry.
Don't work out.
And I'm sorry I was dressed like that. I'm sorry I was wearing a crop top.
That said diva
in rhinestones. To like a restaurant.
To a nice restaurant. It's a very classy restaurant.
I was dressed.
It's so embarrassing.
I was dressed like
pants on.
The bottom of Fire Island.
Yeah, well.
And I was looking for loads at the sandcastle. I was wishing someone would climb my sandcastle.
I don't like retelling this story because I don't think this is funny. Did we go back after? Did we go straight to the Pines?
From there, no, we took a beat. I think we like went back and like got changed. I got changed. I was not wearing Diva.
You wore Diva. Diva was just for dinner?
Diva just was for dinner because I was mortified I was in Diva.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know. Cute. I know. Well, that's gonna be my pride look.
Yeah.
But it wasn't giving show tunes Sunday.
So we went I'm sorry, we also forgot to mention, and I wish I knew this diva's name. At Tammy Spanks' brunch, she had a guest she was on Pose, very talented Broadway performer, television performer. She sang a jazz rendition of Sabrina Carpenter's Thumbs, the 2016 song Thumbs by Sabrina Carpenter. Upon the first line, I couldn't believe my ears.
I couldn't believe it.
I could not believe somewhere in the town there is a mother and a father, and the father has I was in disbelief that we heard a Thumbs rendition at Cherries on the Bay.
It was absolutely beyond.
So, we then have to take a treacherous journey through the meat rack.
Joe's telling me that the meat rack, you never know who you're going to spot. You never know.
It's true. It's a famous cruising ground.
People are getting fucked in the meat rack.
Yes.
We walked through this meat rack.
It was Blair Witch.
It was Blair Witchian. I was walking through this. I couldn't even believe, first of
all,
you
were really upset.
I was really upset.
Because when Andrew's upset, he goes quiet. And maybe you had to throw up also.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was.
Either or always.
When I go quiet,
it's either Andrew has to go throw up or he's really, really harboring resentment.
Yeah.
And sometimes, again.
And it was both. Because I was like, I can't even believe that we're walking through this right now. Like, to go to Fire Island Pines, like, I'm like not in a place. I'm so obliteratedly
we were just
drunk.
Twiddling our thumbs.
I was twiddling my thumbs, wishing I was twiddling something else. And by the time we got through the meat rack, it felt like actually an eternity.
It was like, it reminded me of like the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. It was very Dorothy and the Scarecrow, like walking through the haunted forest. Like the Tin Man could have been anywhere we looked.
And
but there wasn't a soul. There wasn't a Tin Man to be found.
I was on high alert. I had a flashlight on. I thought I also felt like a haunted house. Like,
it was scary.
Why did I feel like someone was gonna pop up? Like,
okay, this is the thing about gay men. Sex and horror are almost the exact same thing. There is really no clear line that defines those.
I can't.
Why are we walking through a pitch black forest filled with Lyme's disease?
Yeah.
To get your dick sucked.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I am not judging it.
You do a tick check?
No, I didn't.
Oh, we're fucked.
We're fucked.
Oh, we're so fucked.
Call us Avril Lavigne and Bella Hadid.
Call up the Hegyes because we're about to move in.
It is just, I'm not judging it. I've done it. I've been there. I was in Sieges. I was in the Hunger Games arena in Sieges. Like, I'm not better than this. I'm not looking down on it.
No.
But I do think everyone's fucking out of their fucking minds for the way that we need to have sex in a world where Grindr and Scruff and Sniffies exist, you know?
But
it's fun.
In the sand?
But it's fun.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's sweet.
It is sweet. It was so sweet.
It's
and then
sweet.
we made it through the meat
back
rack.
to ancestry.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like really like you're connecting with something.
We walked through that meat rack. We went right to Show Tune Sundays.
And you wouldn't believe what song was being performed. Thumbs by Sabrina Carpenter, jazz rendition. Again.
Diva was there. Diva down at Show Tune Sunday. She was
And
really
we're all
eating.
just twiddling them thumbs. Down. And that was almost our cue.
It was our cue. Like from that moment, I was in disbelief. We stayed for about 15 minutes. It would have been so much fun if we were not so drunk.
Yeah.
I got so much better from Legally Blonde the musical out of my system. That was amazing.
Do you know? Can I tell you something that's gonna break your heart? Do you know the premise of Show Tune Sundays?
No.
You request a song and then you go up there and you perform it.
No.
Yeah. So like that was happening. There was a gay on stage when we were there, and I was either just too inebriated or like did not know.
Someone was singing?
No, you lip sync it while the song plays behind you. So literally it is like you should definitely go when you go back. It's your ideal situation. But I am like, oh, we missed out on something truly fabulous. How fabulous is that?
I would say, how fabulous is that?
And so we missed that. But we got to see Thumbs again. And
How
that feels like a fair trade-off to me.
Yeah. And then we decided about 15 minutes after that, we needed to head back.
So we had to walk back through the pines, back through the meat rack. Mind you, I'm wearing an ankle brace because I damaged my ankle walking through the meat rack the last time I was on Fire Island. And I've been unable to walk correctly ever since.
It's just, everything is just very sinister at this point.
It is. And this always happens with us. It's always fun until it is horrible.
Until it's horrible. And we got through that meat rack. I was tired. I had no energy left in me. Like the sun.
Our thumbs were twiddled out.
My thumbs were twiddled out. I drank more than I could even imagine. I get back to the Kinlochwood suite.
The what?
The Kinlochwood suite. And I decide, Joe's like, I'm going to do a little lap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because now
we're at the Belvedere for a reason.
The ghouls and the goblins are out.
It is true. Like, this is also like, it's so fucking crazy. Like, why is it all haunted? Like, we get the night settles upon the Belvedere, and there are just figures in the shadows. There are people lurking at every corner. Every dark hallway, there is someone standing there watching and waiting.
And naked.
To snatch you up.
To snatch you up. And I'm not kidding. We were walking up to our little stairs in the middle courtyard patio. About, I would say, 7 men.
And good for them.
I don't need to tell you what they were doing.
No, but you can imply.
But you can imagine what they were doing. Right? So I walk up to my room. Joe's like, I'm going to do a lap. I'm like, girl, I got to go to bed. So I
did my lap.
Joe did your lap. I was asleep.
You were asleep for that. And I had a great time. You threw up.
Yeah, that's why I was quiet.
You were throwing up. I got some business done with some men. Yeah. I experienced some community, which is my favorite. I think that ultimately, like, it's really important as gay men to connect with other gay men in any way you can, and especially in times like these. Yeah. Right, Addison, right? Yeah. It's really important to foster community in spaces. And so I spent some time while you were nurturing yourself back to health, I was fostering and nurturing a community outside. And what can I say?
What can I say? You released.
I found kinship. I found brotherhood. Yeah. Brotherhood of man happened. And then I came back upstairs and you were still dead.
Yeah, right? I was out, but
you were out like a light.
But then I kind of came to, and there's something about.
It's also sorry. I just need to note before I went down to find community, stripped completely naked at this point.
Oh yeah,
it's time now to walking around the haunted house
naked,
completely nude, almost in an ankle brace. Chose to drop the ankle brace. So it is pitch black. There are men in every corner.
Yeah,
I'm off the tequila and everything else. Just stumbling around this hotel.
It feels like the episode of American Horror Story.
And it is. It really is.
It really was. And
so I got back to the room. I greet Andrew. I put on some clothes. And then
what happened was after you release every form of alcohol from your system and then take about a 30-minute power nap, you wake up and you're feeling better than ever.
Eyes closed. You were like, I think I just got a second wind.
I got a second wind. It was shocking. I got a second wind. And I'm somebody who, like, Joe definitely is better at this than me. Like, I know that you're maybe also anxious, but you really just lean in. It's like kind of when I'm going into... Let's put it in the context of going into a cold plunge, right? You can dip your feet into that cold plunge, and it's so easy to run right out. But it's hard when you get into that cold plunge and stay there for 3 to 5 minutes, right? To ease your brain. I'm always running out. So when I was like, am I going to do this? Am I going to walk around this hotel right now naked? Or am I going to be like, absolutely not? Joe was like, Andrew, you're only here once.
I really was like, take off your fucking clothes and go downstairs.
And I was like, no, Joe, I can't. And he was like, do it and leave your phone.
I don't think I said leave your phone.
I said, should I bring my phone? You were like, you don't need your phone. Why would you need
I
your phone?
really regret that. I really regret that.
Yeah.
I really was like, why didn't he take his phone?
Because what happened was I was gone for about 3.5 hours.
That was horrifying.
Yeah.
To say goodbye to Andrew at about 1:40, I go to sleep. I wake up. It's around 2 something. No, sorry. It was like 1 o'clock, and I wake up and it's like 2:30 now. I open my eyes, and Andrew's still not in the full size bed next to me. I am like, he's dead.
And Joe,
like,
I came back. Well, I got back into the bed at 4:30, and I checked my phone because it was there, and I saw a text from you. I was like, does this idiot think? But you had to move my phone, so you knew my phone was in the room.
Yeah.
But I also found community. I found community with people and with somebody who, it was really amazing. It was really affirming. It was like, I had my eyes on this man from the moment we walked into the resort. I was giving him a name. And their signs pointed to him. I went into the bathroom immediately when we got into that resort. His phone was left in the bathroom. He goes, did I leave my phone in there? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Okay. And then when I saw him in that courtyard, I walked right up. And we did some things that bonded us forever. I'd say that I think I left that situation the next day. I told Joe, I said, I think that's my best friend.
Yeah, which is just insane. And during this experience, I am now back out at the Belvedere, wandering around. I am not seeing Andrew anywhere. Obviously, at this point, it's like a safari. Like, you don't want to get close to the animals because, like, the last thing I'm really trying to do is walk up on Andrew having any kind of sex at 3 a.m. at the Belvedere Hotel. So I'm like almost like a horse, like looking out from the side of my eye as I walk past, doing laps. Nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen. I'm like, someone pushed him into the bay at the back patio. He's dead. He's gone. I'm gonna be a
killer on the loose.
Me. I was like, I'm gonna be obvious. Who else?
Yeah.
Who else? It had to be me.
Yeah.
I am like, this is so scary. I'm trying to find a buzz cut anywhere I look. I was like, why did he cut his hair? Because if you had the curls, it would have been so easy. I was like, any of these fucking haircuts could be him.
But then you heard me.
And then I heard the typical Andrew laugh. And I was like, this fucking bitch is still out here and alive?
Cracking jokes, laughing. Having a good time, laughing, smoking a little bit, enjoying myself. I would say that night I was a triple S. And you can fill in the blanks. Let's Mad Lib it this time. So you can think about what triple S would mean. The second S is, that's the real meat. The first one is just an adjective. It was something else. But anyways, we got barely any sleep. And we woke up the next morning and we said, we're going to hit the pool. We're going to do the last little lap, last little hurrah.
And something else that I think is just miraculous in our timeline of our lives was you and I taking an outdoor shower essentially together, completely naked, at a pool full of men 45 plus
staring at us.
But, well, of course
we're the meat.
Well, I just am like, of course, why wouldn't you?
You know
right. What I mean?
You're right. And I would say the whole time we were giving grade A beef.
Yes.
And then it was time for us to leave, and I was getting emotional.
Yeah, it is sad.
It was really sad. It was like 24 hours felt like a literal lifetime. It felt like 3 days at least. And
a literal lifetime.
A literal lifetime, 3 days, because I've only been alive for 3 days. And it was time for us to go back to reality. And sometimes the things on Fire Island should stay on Fire Island, but clearly they were shared with the world, I would say, with 18 million of our listeners. And we had to tell the story for you to be able to tell your own story.
Yeah, I think that honestly, there is something to be said about putting yourself in situations. I think more people should do it. I think you should be in circumstances. I think you should be in environments as much as you possibly can. Like, I think it's really important. Round out your summer with some situations. Do things that when you come to, you say, what the fuck am I doing right now?
Because you know what we're doing in this life, you guys? You know what we're doing in this life is we're stripping away shame.
Yeah, truly.
We're stripping away shame. It's so freeing. So even the nudity part, people have a lot of shame around their bodies.
Of course. And that's not your fault. That's no one else's fault except for centuries of colonialism.
Exactly. But we're stripping away shame. And if we can tell these stories that are genuinely to some very shameful, but when we tell it, we are shameless. We want you to feel shameless. Like,
that's us.
Fuck it. Shameless. Life is too short. Suck a dick on the outdoor patio. Only if you want to. Because as we said before, you can refuse loads.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Now it is time to take a call from one of our gorgeous, sexy, incredible listeners.
So you know what time it is. It's time for the guidance office.
If you're looking to place a call, if you're looking to call into the guidance office, what number, Andrew?
It's 516-366-0826. Let me repeat that one more time. 516-366-0826. Give us a call.
Nassau County,
Long Island. Let me hear you scream.
Hi, Joe and Andrew. I'm Amelia. I'm a patron and a listener. Obviously, I actually just texted the group chat because I just bought evenings and weekends, which I've been meaning to buy. I hope you guys have enjoyed your break from the main pod. So basically, I have just I left high school in the end of 2023. And I went to Europe for a few months last year on my own, and I just kind of don't have any friends. Today was my first day off of work in weeks, and I spent all day making a little reading cubby in my car, which I'm currently sitting in. It's very cozy. But yeah, I just don't have any friends really, and I would love to get some tips. Kind of cut off all my friends from high school. They weren't particularly loving me, basically. They weren't super accepting of me. So yeah, I just love some tips and advice, I guess. But thank you guys lots. It's kind of you've gotten me through this kind of period of life and helped me from not feeling so lonely. So, love you guys.
Oh, Amelia, that was such a sweet call.
Love you too, and I love Australia.
Yeah, that means a lot. Being Australian means a lot.
Means a lot. Just knowing that if we were to do a tour in Australia, just you showing up, that's enough. That's enough.
So would Olivia.
We do have a good amount of listeners in Australia.
Sydney show soon. No, it'll be Melbourne.
Melbourne show.
Yeah. Okay, Amelia, listen. First of all, I want to say, as someone who famously goes through periods of friendlessness, hey, the most important and longest relationship we have on this planet is the one with ourselves. And
Amen.
When you were describing building that little reading cubby in your car, I was like, that is so sweet. I would love to do that. That is such a gift you're giving yourself. You're spending this time taking care of yourself, which is incredibly important. And I think the more that you spend time with yourself and the more you do take care of yourself, the more you are able to attract but also discern the right kind of people in your life. It's a lot easier to recognize, like you said, your friends from high school weren't really a fit for you. It's a lot easier to recognize when someone's not a fit for you when you know who you are, when you are aware of what makes you comfortable, what makes you happy. So it might be a lonely period for you, but you are choosing to spend that time nurturing yourself and getting to know those things. So when those people appear before you, and you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to go find them somewhere, of course, but when they do appear before, and I'll let Andrew take that part because I don't do that part, you will know these are the people for me. And you won't have to go through as many phases of friend turnover and heartbreak and mourning a loss of a friendship. And Yeah, I don't know. I feel really good vibes for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what I needed to teach myself was that there was a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I am somebody who I look at it as being alone is okay. To your point, like, your relationship with yourself is the one that's going to last a lifetime. So when you are alone and you're not with others, I tend to not try to, like, I don't necessarily at this point feel lonely because I am comfortable with myself. So it allows me to be at home, your reading nook, things like that. The way to make friends is, I mean, I did a solo trip to Mexico City, right? Like, I was afraid. I was afraid of being alone. I was afraid of feeling lonely, but it pushed me to go out there, to see new places, to walk into a bar by myself, to sit at that bar, to talk to the person next to me, to make genuine conversation. I think a good wrap up from the Fire Island is like, what I felt there was community. When you're walking, people are looking at you in the face and they're saying, hi, how are you? That is really hard for people to do, especially when you're in unfamiliar circumstances or situations. But I think for you, regardless of where you live, like, treat it like a new opportunity to meet people. Maybe go to a place that you haven't been to before. Maybe sit at that bar by yourself. Maybe sit at a restaurant, talk to the server. That person might be of similar age. They might want to talk to you, a barista, things like that. That's where you can meet friends. But I wouldn't be so hard on yourself. Right now, it might feel like a low point, but people are going to come into your life. You seem like a really kind and caring person from just one phone call. So you definitely will be able to make friends. And of course there are like groups that you can join.
Yeah, I was gonna say also even the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I will always swear by the internet for my friends.
Exactly.
Like,
And
it's how I made so many of them.
Use our Patreon, like, use the
Yeah.
Patreon. That's the reason that we started the Patreon in the first place, is not only just for an extra episode, it's for you to meet other people who listen to something similar to you. And right there is something that you have in common, right? Like, why we love doing live shows is so people can show up alone and they can leave there with a friend. So maybe they're not in the same place in Australia as you, but then you'll have somebody you can talk to and visit, and that can be a friend for you. So you have so many opportunities.
Yeah, and you're taking care of yourself. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like, a lot of people don't. So that's actually, you should be proud of yourself, regardless.
And you have a car, and that's more than two of us can say.
Yeah, that's huge. and you're an Australian citizen, and that's also more than two of us can say.
Anyways, thank you for calling in. And we love to hear all of your stories and all of your questions. So please keep doing it.
I'm tired of rumors starting. So our rumor every week is something that we care about. Something that's filling our cup for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is right up our alley.
Yeah.
What's your rumor this week, Andrew?
I feel like mine is always related to food, right? Honestly, though, I think right up my alley, even though I was only 100 pages in, was The Velvet Rage. And I know that people have read that before, but I do think, like, even if you haven't read it, if you're a queer person and you haven't read it, it really was... It was speaking to me. I can't say that my situation is very similar to everybody else's, but like it was making me think for the first time. It was a book that I wanted to keep reading. I brought it in that Uber for a reason. Like, I wanted to keep reading it. So I would say that's right up my alley this week.
Get another copy of it.
I'm gonna get another copy of it. I just I'm gonna go to maybe McNally Jackson has it. I'm sure that they do. And then the second thing is and David protein bars. I'm just into them these days. I'm sorry, 28 grams of protein, the blueberry pie, best flavor. So if you're looking for a good protein bar, that's my recommendation for you.
My rumor this week. If you know my lore, you know I am shockingly obsessed with the straight Christian YouTuber Ryan Trahan.
Yeah.
Ryan Trahan is on a 50-day journey through the United States. He is staying at an Airbnb every single day. They're being uploaded in semi-real time. Every day, a different state, road trip with his wife, Haley. I am watching this like it is the daily news.
Mm-hmm.
I am watching this like it is my lover who is away overseas and writing me letters.
He's a sweet presence.
I'm, it's so crazy. Like, I am so genuinely inspired by that child. He's probably like 2-3 years younger than us, but he looks like a child. I am really like... You are like the positivity and the outlook on life. I'm like, I wish I could be like this. The vlogs are great. I love something that's daily.
Yeah.
15 to 20 minutes a day, I get to watch new content. That sounds like a blessing.
I can't imagine.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. He's about almost halfway through at this point. You gotta tune in. You gotta catch up. He's raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. His goal was to raise $1 million by the end of the 50 states. He raised that by day 13. He raised $1 million.
And what are we doing?
And now his goal is 2 million, and he's already at like 1.5 million. So he's gonna hit 2 million. And it's just, there's so many of this exact genre of YouTuber that is like evil, like just like literally like Jigsaw from Saw, and he just doesn't have that vibe, and it's like so nice to watch something that isn't as sickly, gimmicky, gamey, evil, twisted, manipulative. Everyone better watch Ryan go through the 50 states. I can't wait for New York. Oh,
I'm gonna tune. Should we do a screening?
I'm gonna host a party for when Ryan gets to New York.
We get New York delicacies.
Yes, yeah, I would love that.
Wait, when is he coming? Because we'll try to find him.
The thing is, I think for his own safety, he doesn't reveal where he's going.
Well, that makes sense because I was actually gonna be weird. I was gonna find him.
I'm assuming he'll be doing like a penthouse though in New York, so we'll see. Okay. I can't wait.
Can't wait.
He's right up my alley.
Well, Joe.
Well, Andrew,
after a long break.
We're back.
We are so back. And
for summer school.
For summer school.
You know?
And this season of the podcast is going to be really special. We have some really great guests lined up. We have some really great episodes lined up. Obviously,
we have fucking plywood.
We have plywood behind us. Like, I'm sorry, kidding? We changed the set. Like, it's like simple, it's minimalist, but it's chic, it's cute, and we're sexy. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
That's fair.
But yeah, this podcast is this place about to blow. No, this podcast is about to blow up. 18 million listeners. You better watch out. 36 million. We're doubling the numbers.
Don't forget, you can join us on Patreon for The Locker Room rebrand. A little rebrand there as well. Every single Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a brand new Patreon drops. For example, this episode, you're going to hear a lot fucking more about the dirty details that had to be left out from this story. And that's at the link in our bio.
And do not forget to do your homework. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Put a nice review on Spotify. We are almost
still at 5 stars?
I don't.
It's actually like
knock on literally. Did you get knock on your wood?
Did you get into STEM? Like, it just feels like someone scammed something. I don't get how we're at a solid 5.
We're almost at 10,000 5-star reviews. We are so close. We're actually about 300 reviews away from 10,000 5-star reviews. That is crazy, we should get a cake for 10K. I want to get this is my problem. I always want more, but listen, 10K is fantastic. So don't get it twisted. But for all the new listeners out there, we would love for you to review. It is not easy on Spotify to find it. You got to look at those 3 little dots. You got to listen to us first, and then you can rate the show.
And don't forget, you can follow us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. And you can follow me on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe.
And I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella and on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie.
Thank you so much for sticking out the break. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us over the years. We are ready to really go fucking crazy.
It's time to go wild, girls. And you know what? Take off your pants. Take off your shirt, live a little, go sweet. Nude, dip in the water, skinny dip this summer. And you know what? Compassion this summer.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
You have memory loss.
I know.
You got to get that checked out.
Be fucking serious. Which one of us doesn't remember things?
Are you serious right now?
I mean, you walk around like every day it's a brand new life. You do factory reset every morning.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. You've told stories on this podcast that you weren't in, and we found out at later points.
So just because I was going through low points at parts of this podcast doesn't mean I didn't remember things.
Okay.
I do remember that I do want to get the Benson Boone Moonbeam ice cream crumble cookie.
Fuck.
But we forgot to get it for the episode.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye, you guys.
Walking around the haunted house
naked,
completely nude, almost in an ankle brace, chose to drop it.